Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the cost of ignorance. And this presentation will have the following outline. First, I'm going to talk about how ignorance can destroy an individual. Then I'll also talk about how ignorance can destroy a generation. Then I'll talk about a solution or the antidote to ignorance. Then I'll summarize the presentation. Then I'll end the presentation with an optional prayer. So let's get started. To be ignorant is to not know, and once you do not know, you cannot tell. And once you cannot tell, you simply don't know. Now, this state of affairs called ignorance has a tendency to destroy an individual's life, because when something is coming at you and you're ignorant and you don't know about it, and it is something which will not help you, you simply will not know, in order to actually take an action based on what to do, whether to run or to stay. And an ignorant person, usually, because they are ignorant, may not see the looming destruction or the danger ahead of them or what is actually coming towards them. And many people in the world today suffer or struggle because of ignorance. Ignorance can be infectious and can move from person to person. And in sufficient time, this movement, of ignorance can actually spread through an entire generation. So, for instance, you have a community, people live in a community. They'll tell you, well, don't ask about this. Don't try to find out about this. And then the rest also continue to take on the same behavior. In no time, realize that the whole community that becomes a culture. Where people don't ask questions. And the more you remain quiet and you decide not to ask questions about things you don't understand or try to find out, that is where ignorance actually sets in. And generational ignorance always brings large-scale devastation to the people in the long term. It will almost certainly destroy the people in the long term. And this large-scale devastation can gradually create big problems for the whole generation, or it can even wipe out the entire generation. And many families, groups, communities have suffered and continue to suffer today in this world because of ignorance. Knowledge of the truth is the only solution to ignorance. There is no other way. You need to possess knowledge, and that knowledge must be based on the truth. That's the only way that you can walk out of ignorance. Because knowledge is key to everything in this life. Before you can do anything in this life and be successful at it or make some impact, you need to have the right kind of knowledge to help you do it. Knowledge makes it possible for every person to distinguish between what is good for them and what is not. It is when you know the difference between what is good for you and what is not good for you, that is where you can decide to choose what is good for you and decide to stay away from what won't help you, what is not good for you. And knowledge of the truth illuminates your conscience and actually opens your mind's eye. It is when your conscience is illuminated or your mind's eye is open, that is when you can actually see things that the ordinary person cannot see. You can see things from afar and actually act upon them even before they happen in real time. And without knowledge, ignorance would most definitely set in and cause permanent devastation in the long term. There's no other explanation. This will certainly happen for somebody or group of people who remain ignorant. This ignorance will definitely cause some kind of devastation to them in the long term. So, in summary, to be ignorant is to not know, and once you don't know, you cannot tell. Ignorance has the potential to actually destroy an individual's life entirely, and this same ignorance can also lead an entire generation into a ditch. It can actually destroy them, And the only solution to ignorance is knowledge of the truth. There's no other way. And this knowledge of the truth is what illuminates your conscience and opens your mind's eye, so you can see things from afar, things that the ordinary person cannot see, and actually act upon them in your favor even before they happen in real time. So at this point, if you are willing, I would like you to pray this optional prayer with me. Dear God, I come before you with a sincere heart. Grant me knowledge in this life and transform me forever. Save me from ignorance. I thank you for listening to my prayer. Amen. And brothers and sisters, if you prayed this prayer wholeheartedly, I know for sure that the God who made everything possible and created everything you see will touch you in ways you could never ever imagine. Stay blessed. At this point, I would like to thank you very much for making time to watch my presentation. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.